Our session today will focus on the mighty Mekong and the notorious Nile. We'll be exploring some river cruise alternatives for customers who have already fallen in love with touring holidays. We're joined by one of Riviera Travel's key account managers, Chris McCloskey, who has experienced these rivers for himself. Hello, Chris.
Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for having me. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you very much.
So, Riviera Travel, we aim to offer immersive river cruise experiences on both the Nile and the Mekong rivers. Our idea behind it is to blend cultural exploration with comfortable accommodation, as you would expect in any holiday that you do with Riviera. The two I'm going to be highlighting today, obviously, is first of all the Nile River cruises. That's Wonders of the Nile. We've got one itinerary that goes from Cairo to Aswan, and that'll be featuring iconic sites along the way, such as the Pyramids of Giza, the Sphinx, the Egyptian Museum. And then, of course, with the Mekong, which is obviously going to be exploring Vietnam and Cambodia over 15 or 16 days. And obviously, some of your highlights in there is a stay over in Saigon. You visit Angkor Wat. It's an incredible itinerary.
Sounds amazing. And how many different itineraries do you offer across those two rivers?
So on the Nile, we offer 3 different itineraries, and on the Mekong, we offer 2 different itineraries.
And who are your typical Nile and Mekong customers, and who are you looking to target?
Well, to be honest with you, anyone, for example, for myself, when I got offered the opportunity to go out to the Nile, I got crazy excited because I kept on thinking back to when I was at school and I was studying ancient Egypt, and I let my parents know about it. They were super jealous. But really, Nile and Mekong cruises, they can appeal to anyone in any travel agent's database. Generally, you're people that are interested in culture or historical exploration. Those that are fascinated, like myself, with ancient history in ancient Egypt. In terms of the Mekong, you're looking at people that are maybe wanting to experience a different side of Southeastern culture, because with the Mekong itineraries, you do get super immersed into it, and you do go to see some places that are definitely on everyone's bucket list.
Sounds fantastic. Thanks, Chris. I'll let you now tell us more with your presentation. Those watching, don't forget to ask your questions in the box right here.
Thanks, Jennifer, and thank you everyone for joining us again today. So like Jennifer was saying, I'm going to take you through 2 of our worldwide itineraries here at Riviera Travel, and that is obviously going to be our cruise on the Nile and cruises on the Mekong. But first, just to touch on why you might recommend Riviera Travel to one of your clients. You can see at the top left there, holiday happiness guarantee. In a nutshell, if your clients aren't happy with your recommendation, we'll bring them home by day 2 on us with a full refund as well. As you would expect, your money's completely safe and secure when you're booking anything with Riviera Travel. We're bonded in every way, shape and form. Of course, when your guests are traveling, they've got access to a 24/7 UK-based team. We offer that number in our documents as well, so your customers are more than happy to reach out to us. And of course, with our long-haul itineraries, you can also fly from your local airport. So when you're pricing things up on our website, if you can't see the gateway that your client requires, pick up the phone and give us a call. We're open 7 days a week. We can get that priced up for you. And of course, unbeatable value for money. No one out there gives your clients but the bigger bang for the buck than booking with Riviera Travel. And of course, with honest pricing, we're not one of those companies that you'll ever see mark something up to do a 50% sale. We simply just don't do it. And the benefit to you guys is when your customer books, they will automatically get the price promise, which means that if the price drops after that they booked, we'll automatically refund them 125% if you didn't know that already. But anyway, without further ado, I'm going to get started with the Nile. So I'm going to introduce you to an itinerary that's not just unique in itself, it actually sells to your clients. I was very, very fortunate enough to go out to the Nile and do this itinerary, and that was the Wonder of the Nile. That was from Cairo to Luxor. It's one of the only packaged itineraries that literally combines a full north to south sailing of the Nile. Of course, in true Riviera style, you've got your guided tours of Egypt's most iconic sites, all included in the cost of the holiday. It's expertly run, it's cracking value for your customers, and it's perfect for your clients who are looking to tick something off the bucket list this year. As you can see at the top right-hand side, we do offer 3 different itineraries from 15 nights, 11 nights, and then a 13-night, and also an exclusive solo traveller cruise on there as well. And any clients that you book who do want to do it solo, every single client on board the ship on the solo departures will be a solo traveller. So it makes it a little bit easier for everybody to mingle. And of course, there's no single supplement, as you would expect. Now, any cruise on the Nile, it is an in-depth Egypt experience. It will start off in Cairo and it will sail all the way down to Luxor. So think Pyramids of Giza, the Sphinx, the Egyptian Museum. temples plus all your big hitters, like going to see the Valley of the Kings. It's not just a snippet of Egypt that you're getting, it really is the full show when it comes to this itinerary. Your customers will get a minimum of 10 different experiences, excursions included, all with expert local guides. And we always build free time into our itineraries. So if your clients want to do any self-exploration, or because I find that anyone who wants to go to Egypt, they've always got a little bit of their own agenda built into it. I want to see this based on the research they've done, what they've heard from maybe other travellers that have done it. We always include free time, and the tour guides are experts. They're all local, so if we can build it into it, we certainly will. Absolutely. Your tour guides there, they'll always give you recommendations, hints, and tips. So if you don't have anything of your own agenda, they're more than happy to provide some recommendations. Now, I was very, very fortunate enough to do a hot air balloon ride over Luxor. It was without a doubt one of the highlights of the trip. You do wake up super early. It was about 4:30 in the morning. We woke up, got up at the crack of dawn, and went over to the landing site with all these balloons. And it looks fairly quiet in that picture. There maybe was 50, 60, 70 different balloons there, all taken off. You get into the balloon, and just as the sun's coming up, it takes off, and it gives you incredible views of all the different ancient Egyptian sites over Luxor. And it's definitely worth getting up that early in the morning for as well. Now, of course, this cruise is perfect, like I was saying, for anyone who's well travelled, the culturally curious person, typically your 55 plus traveller who've maybe done Europe already and want something more adventurous without sacrificing the comfort. And it's ideal for anyone who love our European river cruises already and are ready to level it up. And in terms of you as a travel agent, you guys love it because we are super easy to sell. We do include everything from flights to transfers, all the tours. On board our Egypt ships as well, all the meals are included as well, including a sit-down captain's dinner one evening. And obviously it's 5-star quality throughout. The ship that we use on the Nile, the Movenpick that I was on, it's one of the only 2 5-star ships that sail on the Nile. So you really do have the creme de la creme when it comes to river cruises. So without a doubt, one of the most comfortable and spacious ships on the Nile. Like I was saying, it's one of only 2 5-star ships, 52 different cabins and suites, and it offers all meals, complimentary tea and coffee in the cabin. You get bottles of water delivered to the cabin each day as well. You've got free Wi-Fi, and as always, the services of an attentive tour manager. And it's definitely up there with one of our top recommendations. Ever since I've went out, and I'm talking a lot more about the Nile, we're definitely seeing an increase in bookings coming in right across the board at Riviera. Now, in terms of our second itinerary I want to introduce you to is the Mekong, a super unique opportunity for your clients to experience the rich cultures, the landscapes of Vietnam and Cambodia. Now, these cruises do offer an incredibly immersive journey through Southeast Asia, combining not only luxury, comfort and adventure, and we do offer this over 2 different itineraries that you can see on screen, one 15 days and one 16 days. Now, in terms of our Mekong itineraries, they are meticulously crafted to provide such a comprehensive experience. Now, the 15-night upstream journey from Saigon, or the 14-night downstream, this will visit vibrant cities such as Tiger Island, you'll visit in Vietnam, Silk Island, Angkor Wat in Cambodia. There's literally excursions taken care of that are very culturally driven to get you to the heart of what these destinations are all about. You'll visit all the archaeological sites in Angkor Wat, and they're really designed to give your clients a real in-depth understanding of the Mekong and its diverse cultures and histories on there as well. Now, in terms of your accommodation, when you're doing the cruise part of the itinerary, the ship itself, starting in 2026, our cruises will be aboard the Victoria Mekong, which launched back in 2019. It accommodates 70 guests with 33 staterooms, and there is 2 suites on board. And all the staterooms do feature private balconies, and you've got all your amenities as you would expect from a boutique hotel, such as your restaurant, your bar, and there's a pool on board. You've got your gym, a library, a games room, and an onboard spa as well. And of course, the feeling on board any of our long haul river ships, it is really relaxed and contemporary throughout, because it is all about your client's relaxation after a long day of touring when they get back on board. And of course, that is one of the suites on board. So it's very, very, very beautiful ship, very modern, as you would expect from an upscale boutique hotel. Now, what's included when you do book the Mekong trip with Riviera Travel? As always, we'll include your flights as well. On our website, most of the flights for this itinerary will show from London Heathrow. If you do need a deviation from a local airport, such as Glasgow for me up here, Manchester, Wales, Birmingham, do just pick up the phone and give us a call. Every single one of our Mekong itineraries will include 2 or 3 nights in Saigon, and of course you'll get 3 nights in Cambodia as well, 7 nights on board the beautiful ship, and of course when you're on board you'll have your complimentary soft drinks throughout the day, select a drink with lunch and dinner on board, and anything outside of those times you can just pay on board for that as well. So obviously, when you're on this incredible trip, there is some highlights that I do want to shout about. Really, something that you can put out when you're talking to your clients about it, when you're talking about it on social media. Going to see Angkor Wat at sunset, you'll be able to stand in front of one of the world's largest monuments, glowing in the pink orange light of the setting sun. You literally feel like you've time travelled, and the sheer scale of it is just jaw dropping. Not your average usual museum visit when you get to go to see the tunnels as well. So you'll get to go see the very narrow hand dug tunnels. It will give you a flashback maybe to what it was like for the soldiers that were obviously going through those tunnels during war times. Of course, you've got the Mekong River cruise built into there as well. Floating markets, you'll find that when you're sailing along, boats will pull up to the side of you and try to sell you things. Highly encourage you to do this because it's things that you would never be able to find anywhere back home. And again, because you're on board, you get to see such a vast area, and you only have to unpack once when you get on board. Little bit different is you'll get a chance to go to see the killing fields. It is a little bit haunting, but it is super essential to any visit to this part of the world. You'll visit the Genocide Museum while you're there. You'll see remnants of Cambodia's tragic past. It really does hit a lot of people hard, but it is the kind of experience you would expect with Riviera Travel. We will take you to places that you only would ever see about maybe on TV on a program, but no visit to this part of the world is complete without it, and it will really give you a great context to everything that happened in the country at that time. You'll also get a chance to see the Palace and War Remnants Museum. And again, it's a stark, eye-opening introduction to Vietnam's modern history. And it isn't really the polished tourist version that you'd expect. It really is raw, and it's really compelling. The guides will bring it to life for you. And for example, when I was out on the Egypt trip as well, a lot of the other guests were asking the tour guide maybe people would see as uncomfortable questions, but the tour guide was incredible. They were open up, they were being really open about it, being really transparent about it. And again, when you're over in this part of the world, we highly do encourage you to ask the questions that might be sitting on the back of your mind. Now, of course, that is just a very quick whistle-stop tour to the 2 itineraries. For those of you that know, we do have Riv Explorer, which is our incredible e-learning platform that will go into not only these 2 itineraries, but all the itineraries and destinations that we cover. And you can sign up for free at rivexplorer.com.
Thank you,
I feel like I was
Chris.
talking a lot there.
No, lots of really great information there. Thank you for sharing all those great tips. Those watching, just remember you can write any questions you have in the box here, and we'll go through those in the Q&A section of this session now. I see that we've already got one from Jessica, who is asking, are there accessible cabins on the ships?
So with all of our ships that's on the river and the long haul, we don't have accessible cabins per se, as you would expect from the likes of like ocean cruise lines. However, what we do highly encourage you to do is get in contact with us. So whatever your client's limitations potentially could be, give us a call. Even give us a call with the client in front of you, because our guys in the contact center, they've got what we call a mobility wheel for every single itinerary, so they can get into the proper nitty gritty. We've even got information of like how many steps it is from the ship to the bus. What type of gravel is it? Is it gravel? Is it pavement? Is it stone? Is there any incline? We've got so much information, so please don't hesitate to give us a call. And once we go through the mobility side of it, we will make a firm decision together to say, yes, this would be perfect, or maybe not. We may maybe recommend this one instead, or this might be the limitations that your customer would come up, because the last thing we want to do is have anyone come out there to do a trip of a lifetime and there's some limitations, but we will be very transparent about what those might be, because every single one of our holidays, whenever we go out, we fill in a massive document to make sure if anything's changed, and it constantly gets reviewed every single year by our tour teams that go out and set up these tours, how they can completely improve it for everybody who comes out.
Okay, great. Thank you. Tracy is asking, when is the best time to do the Mekong cruise, would you say?
Well, the good thing is we near enough do it all year round as well. So what we do always try to do is, you'll notice that even with our touring side of things in Europe, we do try to avoid August completely. There's not a lot of any escorted tours with Riviera that go out in the month of August for Europe, purely because a lot of the kids are off school, prices go through the roof, and it is incredibly hot in Europe. But in terms of like your river cruising and your long haul, it's pretty much all year round.
Okay, great. I mean, it might be a similar question, but Linda is also asking, what's the best time of year to do the Nile cruise?
Nile cruise, I would go, as you know, the Egypt can get incredibly hot. I was very lucky. I went in February and it was about 29, 30 degrees, so it was just getting there. But there was no humidity at night time, so which was much, much nice. But even the crew on board were like, you get no idea how lucky you are right now, because literally from one day to the next, it just gets 30 degrees hotter. So our winter, definitely the best time to go. Or if you're a complete sun worshipper, happy to go in July.
Yeah, baking on board.
100%.
Great. And Gail is asking, can customers book their next cruise whilst on the cruise?
So, very good question. So, for our European ships, we are in discussions at the minute. We have been for a while about putting like a cruise consultant on board to book their next cruise while they're on board. We don't have that just yet. However, every single guest on board will be able to take advantage of the welcome home offer, and it's great for travel agents because you can save your guests up to 20% off their next Riviera holiday, simply just by doing it, something you would do every time when they come home, given that welcome home call to say, how is everything? How did you get on? Because what you'll find with Riviera, when I do client events, I come out and speak to your customers, 99% of the time is another guest on board has sold them their next holiday. You're literally just taking the booking. Because
Yeah.
if you go out and do the Nile and then someone else is there, it's like, oh, I've done the Danube, but they're selling it for you. You're literally just calling them to take a booking.
Mhm.
All the information about the welcome home offer, and you've got obviously 4 weeks from the customer returning home. It did used to be just 2 weeks, but our Vicky Billing got that. She had a fight with everybody in the office and to get it increased up to a month. So you've got a lot longer. More information about that welcome home offer will be available from your agency, or you can just drop us an email and we'll get the PDF across to you. But it's a cracking offer and it's an easy booking for you guys.
Brilliant. Um, any more questions? We've got just a couple of minutes there. I was just going to ask you, do you find it does tend to be clients who've already experienced Riviera's tours who then go on to book these Nile and Mekong cruises?
Oh God, yeah, we've got a really, really incredibly strong repeat customer pattern. I think last time I checked, it was hovering at like the high 80s, early 90s of people that will rebook with us again within 12 months. And it's purely customers maybe have traveled with us in Europe and love the experience and tend to trust us when they're wanting to do something a little further afield. Because if you go through your bucket list, there'll be lots of destinations on there, maybe places that are a little bit more remote. And obviously, if you've got the chance to sit down with a tour operator that's specialist in that area, we do find that we are getting people that rebook a lot with us because we can bring it to life and deliver the product well.
Okay, perfect. And I think you've sailed on both rivers, am I right?
Correct, yes.
And what would you say were your highlights? I won't ask you to say which is your favorite river because that was a bit hard, but what were your highlights?
I'm going to tell you anyway. It's the Nile. Like I wanted to do it for so. I'm so biased about it because I wanted to do it for so long, and it was literally like what you done at school. It was history coming alive. I think the biggest thing for me was the tour guides. Like
Mm.
it's proper. I don't want to say proper Egyptian people, but it's proper people that live there. They've got so many stories to tell you. They just really really brought it to life. It's like when you go on a shore excursion, whether you're in Italy or Palma or whatever you might be on an ocean ship, the tour guides really really do make the difference. a tour delivered by one tour guide versus another tour guide can be night and day. And it was purely just because they brought it alive. You know, there was no questions about Egypt's past. Very, very transparent about everything. And it was before we took over the ship, so there was a group of Americans that I was with, that I was going on all the tours with, and Americans love to ask questions, and it was great because they were getting into the nitty gritty of it. The tour guide wasn't holding back, and it was just a mind blowing experience from start to finish. And seeing the pyramids up close, it's like nothing you would imagine. It was absolutely incredible. I'd happily do it again.
Oh, brilliant. Well, you've definitely, well, actually, people are saying in the comments that you've sold them onto the Nile, so you'll probably get some agents on board.
If you want to go, let's go. I'm happy to go back.
Brilliant. Oh, that's been great. Thanks for your energy, Chris. And thank you very much for joining us, everybody. I think we are finished now. It's 12 o'clock. And if you just stay put, you will be moved over to the quiz session. How well do you know Riviera? So do stay tuned for that. Thanks, everybody.
Best of luck, everyone.